Oh, just say scrap.
Oh, just say scrap.
As something new.
As something new.
It's Make It Mondays just for you. So come and see what we are creating. Make It Mondays just for you.
Hello everybody, so today we are doing our Let's Party Workshop kit. So this is our brand new Aquarius Stickles Glitter Gel. Absolutely beautiful. I do suggest though when you are doing this workshop to do all of the stickers glitter gel throughout the entire workshop first. I did not do that, so I did have to wait a little bit for it to dry. It actually was a little wet while I was working with it just because I wanted to do the video for all of you. But that is my one suggestion. So make sure to see all these little things that I'm doing. Make sure that you are doing the entire kit first, and it will make your life a whole lot easier. So we are just adding that onto some of the pages. We are adding our stickers. I did my paper saving method, as you saw there, and I will be doing that a lot throughout this kit. I just found that there are many places that we could do that, so it was easier, and if you wanted to then use some extra cardstock or papers in the kit later, you can always do that. So the thing I love about our Tombow glue is you are able to reposition things. So as you saw there, I didn't actually glue it down strong. So I was able to pull up those striped pieces and actually get them where I want them to be. The T-square ruler really did help with this. I tried to just eyeball it at first and that did not work. So then we just used the T-square and pulled those up and then pushed them down. The nice thing about it too is the longer you have it sit on your paper, the more it will adhere. So even though I can reposition it when I'm doing my page, I will not be able to move it once it really adheres to the page, which is an awesome thing that we can do with that. So once again, we are doing our method with our stickers to make sure that we do leave some of the sheet on so we can slide our photos underneath. And then we are taking our glue dots and using them on our acrylic shapes. So, like I said, the circle is still a little wet with our Stickles glitter gel, but with the glue dots, I was able to adhere those down, and as you see here, it looks absolutely adorable with those 4 candles. So then I'm just pulling out some of the other acrylic shapes that we need. I always kind of continue to keep our bag just so I don't lose the shapes, especially with the cats around. They like to jump on the table sometimes and play with things, so I wanted to make sure that everything was kept in the bags. And then it was time to make some of my stickers into pop-ups. So these are all the little banners, and as you see here, I don't have my normal foam tape. I actually have the inside of some of our shaker windows, and these pieces are small and they're already cut into squares, and I love to save them because you do get extra pop dots with it. So doing something like this where they're smaller, it's easier for me to just kind of take those pops instead of constantly cutting tiny little squares since it's already done for me. So now we're on to page 2 of this kit. And once again, we are doing that paper saving method, and we're going to glue that background paper down. As you see, this one I did do the Stickles glitter gel on like I showed you before, so this one was drier and I was able to kind of work with it a little bit better. And then we are going to kind of do the same thing, just make sure everything is lined up across the board. So I'm using my T-square for that reason, and we are basically just going to finish embellishing this page. This page also has a journaling box, which I absolutely love because everybody doesn't love to journal, but honestly, I really do recommend it. And I also recommend handwriting it. I love being able to go back to old scrapbooks and see my mom's handwriting. My grandfather actually used to keep a lot of photos, so when he passed away, it was fun to find his handwriting on a bunch of different photos that he had throughout his house. So it is really something that I suggest that you do so future generations can kind of see your handwriting and your personality come to life on these pages that you are creating. So here we pulled out the party that was in our acrylics, and I am actually putting them together and then also putting my glue dots on that way. So I wanted to make sure that they all lined up, and then once they're together, you do have to keep them together. I mean, you can just lay the black down first or the white down first and then put the other part on, but I thought it was easier to kind of layer them inside of each other and then put glue dots on, so I adhered the pieces together. I hope that makes sense. In my kit, I was missing the middle of the P and the middle of the R, so we did call close to my heart and they are sending those, so we will be able to finish our kit. So if you ever have any issues like that, please do let us know if you are our customer, because we will be able to help you with things like that. But that's layout 1, and now on to layout number 2. So with this one again, I had to do the Stickles glitter gel. Like I suggest, do this first. It does kind of get in the way when you are doing it the way that I am doing it. Yes, if you are following the directions, obviously it tells you to do it in the beginning of every layout like I am doing. But once again, I just kind of suggest reading all of Close to My Heart's directions before you actually do something. That way, if you know if you have to do something that is a little bit more wet and needs to dry, you can kind of conquer that throughout the entire workshop and then go ahead and do that. So once again, you saw that paper saver method on one of our photo mats. This is actually where I get a little bit of Stickles glitter gel on my ruler, so I had to wash that off. But it didn't make a difference to my page, even though a little bit of sparkle was left on my ruler. And then we are going to embellish here. So this kit really does have a ton of stickers with it, which is great. You can change them up, or you can follow exactly what Close to My Heart has on their page. So we did follow exactly how it is, but sometimes when we are doing these kits and we actually have our photos, we will change around where our photo mats are or what embellishments we're using. Sometimes we'll add some, sometimes we'll use something else. So, you do have that flexibility, but we are showing you exactly what Close to My Heart has made. So as you saw there with the Celebrating You and that small tiny sticker below it, I actually didn't put the foam tape directly onto the sticker. You can always go back and look at what I'm talking about. I actually put it directly onto the page itself once the Celebrating You was actually glued down. That way I could kind of see exactly where I wanted it on the page, and that way when I actually took the sticker off, I was able to just kind of lay it on top of my foam tape, which was already in place. So here we are now moving on to the next page. As you saw, I just kind of cut those pieces in half, the dovetail parts, and I did that because, once again, this is a specialty paper that was in this kit alone. Close to My Heart does that, so you have special cardstock, and I didn't want to waste the entire thing, so I cut it in half a little bit, and then I saved a piece of it. For this one, the present here, I did the same thing as I did with the party on the other one. As you see there, you can kind of see the glue dots on the other side. And I did have to make sure that the pieces fit, so I did have to kind of rearrange them a few times. And then as you see here, I'm using my glue dots on the opposite side. So when I pick up this entire piece, it stays together. That was what I was suggesting when I was talking about the party. The outline is so skinny, so sometimes getting the glue dots to be just around the black is a little hard. So then if you add them together, it will give you more support and you won't have to squish your glue dots together. But that was page number 2, and now we are on to layout number 3. So once again, to start layout 3, we did have to do some of the Stickles glitter gel once again. So if you were watching this video beforehand, I will say it for a third time. Do the Stickles glitter gel before you do the entire kit. It will make your life so much easier. So I just wanted to put that out there once again. With this one, I also did the paper saving method, which you are going to see. But for the final page, it gets a little bit more complicated. So don't cut that one yet if you are following my paper saving method. Watch what I do first and see if it's something that you want to do. So we are laying down this page. Once again, it is wet, so I did have to kind of work around that. This die cut, these are the special die cuts that come in the Close to My Heart workshops. You do have to be really careful cutting out or pushing out the insides. They are pretty easy and simple to get out, but you don't want to rip the actual die cut itself. So as you saw there, I did take a scissor and I kind of went around just cutting off a little bit of those perforations. And then I did use my liquid glue to glue it. Unfortunately, my video did stop, so I didn't catch it until after it was glued onto the page. It is a little bit more complicated to put onto the page. You kind of want to use your hand / your wrist to hold up one of the sides. Yes, you might get a little bit of glue on you, but it will help you lay down the actual die cut itself. So I'm sorry that got missed. I was really hoping that was not going to get missed, but somehow it did. So then we started embellishing the rest of the page, and we moved on to page number 2. So this is where I said you might not want to actually do the paper saving method. I did it, but as you see, there are holes in it. So we had to kind of be a little bit creative and glue down the papers around the circles. I did this because once again, I really liked the background paper and I wanted to have extra of it. So I didn't feel like wasting a whole entire sheet. I could have used a piece of white daisy or another color as well to kind of adhere everything to make it a little easier, but I like making things complicated. So this is what I did. So once I got those 4 squares down, I then started to embellish, and then it was time to put on my photo mats. So I did glue these fully down. Normally with photo mats, I don't adhere them completely down so I could remove them if I want to, but because of this, I did glue the top portion with my liquid glue just to make sure that they did stay. I did not glue the bottom of the photo mats, and this was because when I want to slip photos in, that way I can just kind of slip them underneath them, or I can actually pull off the photo mats if I want to and then just adhere the photos to the back. But then it was time to embellish this page, which looks absolutely adorable. And then it's time to add our acrylic shapes. So we've got a balloon and its string. We've got some stars going on this page. And with the balloon string, the glue dots are a little bit too large for it, so I did have to use our paper crafting tool and kind of manipulate them so they are just big enough to be underneath the string. So that is something that you can do. I do suggest using a sticky glue, not a liquid glue, on our acrylics because it really does hold them better, just like our flip flaps. If you ever were putting something on the flip flaps, you do want to use something like a glue dot because liquid glue will not hold it. But then we've just got some other embellishments going on the page here. And once again, we are just popping up some of these embellishments to give our pages some dimension. These tiny little arrows, I did put some tape on. You do not need to do that if you don't want to, but what I find is it's actually, like I said, easier to use some of those shaker window ones where I can kind of cut them down a little bit more and make them even skinnier than what our thin foam tape is. So I just did that and then just added those to our page, and voila, we are almost done. And that basically finishes this page up, and now we have completed every single one of our layouts. So if you do have any questions about any of these, please do let us know. I love the paper saving method. I really do think that you can get a lot more out of your kits when you are doing this. So just if you want to give it a try, why not try it on something like this where you get to keep a really beautiful background paper, and you can also then use it for additional layouts as well. That's one of the other great things about the Close to My Heart kits. You definitely don't use all of the paper, so if you grab some extra cardstock, you can always make a few more layouts. So that is another Make It Monday, and we hope to see you again real soon. Enjoy this workshop. And here is Nala just stopping in to say hello.